everybody. Um, so I thought I would share something that kind of just occurred to me today while I was working on some cookie dough for a customer. Um, I don't know about you, but this year I was particularly eager and excited to get outside and like plant my garden. um, I had started some vegetables um, inside. I was growing my own seeds, and I was started them inside, and I was working on some new garden boxes for the yard, and yeah, it was just as soon as the weather started to get nice, I got all excited. I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna put all my little baby vegetables outside. Like the weather's so nice. Let's just do it. And well, I didn't really pay attention to the calendar. I didn't look at my, growth charts. And I'm just like, I put things out way too soon and it got really cold again. So a lot of my plants, not all of them died, but a lot of them are still really small. They, it kind of stunted their growth. And I also had decided to just, I took an apple core after I ate an apple. I just planted the core because I saw somebody do it once on, I forget, it was something I came across, whether it was Pinterest or I don't know. Anyways, I'm like, oh, I'll try and see what happens, right? So that's what I do sometimes. I'll just take seeds that I get from vegetables that I cook with, and then I just plant them and see what happens. Um, Maybe I'll get something that grows. So I did that with an apple core, and I didn't think anything was actually going to grow. So I almost was actually going to get rid of the core or the jar that I put it in because I'm like, oh, this is probably not going to happen. It's been, I think it was like at least a month or so, and it just nothing was happening. But then all of a sudden, I saw two sprouts come out one day. I was excited. So after I let them stay there for a little while, but they're starting to get big enough that I'm like, okay, well maybe I'll move them into their own jars, right? Their own space. So when I went to do that, I discovered there was like a whole bunch of seeds that were sprouting in the core that I didn't see. They hadn't come out of the soil yet, but they were down there and they were getting some, they were sprouting. So I'm like, oh, I'll put them all in their own pot so they have space to grow into an apple tree, right? And so I went away this past weekend, and when I came home, I noticed um, that I had 7 seeds. I thought I had 2, but then I had 7. But apparently, not all of them survived. So the 2 that had kind of sprouted out and had grown, came out of the soil on their own, and they were, leafy and kind of bigger. Those ones are still fine. And there's like maybe 1 or 2 other ones that are kind of like struggling, but they're still there. But then the other ones just died. The ones that had like maybe a little tiny sprout, but they were like still under the soil, right? So anyway, my point here, um, so I hadn't really thought much about these 2 things until today. God kind of like, dropped a little realization in my spirit and was just like, so how you rushed to put out your vegetables and you rushed to unearth the seeds that were sprouting in for your apple tree, and now some of them have died and some of your plants are struggling. They're not as big, they're probably not going to produce as much fruit. I think maybe you can see where I'm going with this. I kind of think God was telling me, I'm like, pointed that out, that you can't move before things are ready. You don't move before you're ready. And what I mean by that, and what think God was trying to tell me, and maybe some of you guys could benefit from this too, is don't don't rush. Don't rush your growth. You might be right now in a kind of a transition period, like me, where you're kind of in between, um, where you feel God's leading you and what you think He's promised you. Um, but you're not the same as you were. You're maybe coming out of a valley. Like you're starting to spend more time with God. You feel like you've made some progress. You're maybe not quite back where you were, and you've done some growing, but there's some things that are still needing to happen to you in you. God's trying to mine more things from you. You have little baby seeds that are growing inside of you. And if you take them out and you bring them out to the light now before they're ready, if you rush it, if you speed the process up too much, then it might kill them or slow your growth or delay you from what's coming. I don't think God will not give you the things He's promised, because God is a man of His word. He fulfills His promises, but He might delay them if you're not ready yet. If there's some things you still need to learn, some things that you still need to grow in, so that you're ready for what's coming. And I feel God really strongly saying that to me. And He's been, growing me. And I just need to not rush and trust that it'll happen when the timing is right. Don't rush. God will show you exactly what to do when the time is right. It'll be clear. There won't be any confusion. You will know it's God when the time is right. In the meantime, continue praying. Wait on God. Think back to the things He's already given you, the instructions He's already told you, and trust that He will tell you the next step when it's the right time, and you will know. I mean, it's exactly like what happened to the disciples after Jesus had, ascended into heaven, and I guess this is the story of Pentecost, where Jesus told His disciples before He ascended into heaven to wait for the Holy Spirit, basically. Wait for this gift, this present, the gift of the Holy Spirit. And they wouldn't have really known what they were waiting for in that upper room or whatever. And they did wait, but they didn't know when it was going to happen. They were probably wondering what to do, but they stayed and they listened to what Jesus had told them, to previous instructions, and which was to wait for the Holy Spirit. So they did, and then the Holy Spirit came, and then all this other stuff happened, right? So, and then it became clear to them what they were supposed to do after that, right? So it's kind of the same thing, right? You wait, don't rush. Don't rush your growth. Guess that's it.